Good morning, welcome back to Higgsy'S Man Cave, and we're on the GT550 build again. So another lovely day today, but before I start today I want to show you what I've been doing in the meantime. So let me just get the camera. So I just want to show you what else I've been on with. So I've fitted the chain, I fitted the chain guard, I fitted the chain cover and the generator cover. What else have I done? Oh, I've also fitted, rebuilt, stripped and painted the switch gear. So the switch gear is back on there now, all nice and clean, and I've painted it all and redone the lettering in red, so that's all good. Choke cables on, clutch cable on there now, all fitted and working. So the clutch is working fine. So yeah, it's really starting to come together now. So as you can see, I've got my pistons back and my rebore back, so that's all good. The carburetors, they're all waiting to be done. I've got the 3 concertina rubbers which I need, together with the 3 elbow covers, so they're all ready to go back. So the carburetors are ready to be completely rebuilt. The top end's ready to go on, and then once the top end's on I can put the exhaust on. So it's really getting there, getting a bit busy in here with a few bikes in here. So let's get on with it. Okay, let's get started with the top end build. Let's take all this off to start with. Get the SRAS pipes out of the way. So first things first, glasses. Second things first, base gaskets, to make sure this hole, the oil hole, lines up with that hole. 1, 2, 3. Right, pistons are there, and little end bearings are here. So I want to soak these in oil. I normally have a little top. So three new little end bearings. They're going in, and I just like to. I'll use this. I think I've used all the 2-stroke one. Yep. So I get the 3 little end bearings. Give them a good dose of 2-stroke oil. Like a cookery lesson, isn't it? Baste these in 2-stroke oil. Right, so I soak those in 2-stroke oil. Lovely. So we'll start with the middle one first. It's easy to get to. I'll try and get these out of the way as best I can. Right, so that's that one up. Middle piston. Middle piston, 1 mil oversize. Let's just check it on the bore. Lovely. I've already arranged these barrels left, right and centre, so I know which is which. They've got writing on the outside of the left and right ones, which will only go one way, which means that this one's got to be the centre. So, fairly straightforward. Right. I've got a box here with all the piston rings, gudgeon pins and gudgeon pin circlips. I didn't want to send them to the engineering shop in case they got lost. So that's kept them all that way for me. So get a new bag of clips along those wires. I'm going to put it in from this side. So that's the arrow pointed to the exhaust, so I want the clip from here. clip. There you go, so I fitted the nice new gudgeon pin circle up in there. It's on the far side, so I can push the pin through from this side. Now the rings. Get the rings. And they've got 100 written on there, which means they're 1mm oversized. And you put the writing facing up. They're both the same size, top and bottom ring. So you just find the pin, yeah, it's there, writing up, and just gently open them up and drop on the piston, as simple as that. So that's that. That's the second one on, so that's good. I like to put a little bit of oil on these. Just to give them a little lubrication. And make sure they're back on the pins. Okay, that's good. Gudgeon pin, number 1. Then a bit more oil, bit of lubrication. Right, so that goes in from this side. A lot of this. It's a nice fit. And then we make sure the arrow is pointing towards the exhaust port. That's in there nicely. The clip's on the other side. Line it up with a new bearing and just push it in. Job done. Now I'm going to put the other clip on, and just to be on the safe side, I'll put a rag down there because I've done it before. Drop the circlip into the crank and it's a nightmare. So second circlip goes on here. Job done. Right, that's it. That's one piston on. So, just double check that the rings are lining up with the pegs. I'll try and get these out of the frigging way, because they're going to get in the way. Right, so, get the barrel. Check it's all nice and clean. You know it, a little bit of two-stroke oil. Bit of two-stroke oil on the inside, and especially on the chamfered tapered lips there, because that's what helps the rings go in without snapping, hopefully. Right, so we've got one piston there ready to go. That's ready, that's ready, that's ready. Bring that over here. Right, get out of the way. Squeeze those together with your fingers. In position over the ring pegs. Try and hold them together. And you get the barrel in. Get the barrel in. But less than perfect, let's say. A lot of problems, but since I've been using Redmond's at Fleetwood, never been a problem. Okay, so let's just knit. Starting to look like a motor right now, isn't it? Barrels and pistons. I'm getting very close to the point where I'll be able to actually test my starter motor repair, because the battery's on now, although I've no earth strap yet. But very shortly, in a day or two, I'll be able to press that button when it's connected and see if my starter motor works. do think this is a much better design where the barrels bolt to the crankcases and then the heads bolt on later, rather than having studs that come all the way through the head and barrel that come from the crankcase. You get lots of problems. In fact, I've got a friend's YR5 coming in next week with that exact same problem. One of the crankcase studs, which passes all the way through the barrel and into the head, was stripped. It's pulled the thread out of the crankcase. So that's going to need a repair. Okay, you have to go and tighten these up. Tight's tight, too tight. All good. Right, done. So, well, I can't even turn this over. I might even have to get the kickstart. I can bend over. Look out. It moves okay though. No scratching noises or anything like that. It's just a nice, damn tight, damn precise rebuild. Just what you want. Okay, so piston number 2. Yeah. Freshly oiled then bearing. In you go. And this one is writing on the left, exhaust facing forward. So that's that one. I once rebuilt a KH400 and fitted all 3 barrels backwards. Not for long though. It was perfect. We'll have to learn. Right. 2 new clips. 1 new gudgeon pin. So this one's going on this way, arrow forward to the exhaust port. So I want the clip on this side. Gudgeon pin clip this side. Clip. Yep. Turn it to flex down. Yep. Piston wings. Lighting facing up. One on that. It's a scary moment that when you have to spread the rings with your fingers. Because you just think, oh, it's going to snap. But they're pretty good. Okay. Bit of oil. Squirt, squirt. Swish, swish, swish. Pin, pin. Job done. Bit of oil. Still on my fingers. To the gudgeon pin. Good. They're going down nicely. Turn it up. And fire. Gudgeon pin in. Safety rag. Second clip. Boom. Boom. Piston is on. Line the threads up. stops. Yep, get the barrel, here's your oil. I'll put a bit more oil on this time, see if that helps. It did seem very tight. But 1.8 thou is tight, isn't it? So, you know. And then you've got the expanding rings, so if it wasn't tight, you'd be a bit worried. Okay. So, make sure that engage with that. That's with that. Squeeze them together with the fingers. There. Clutch cable's in the way, but I might just do that actually. Yeah. Squeeze them so the pins are lined up. This is actually a pain in the arse. Oh, look at that. Look at what you could have won. Now that's how it was meant to go on the first twist. Boom. That's what the centre piston was supposed to go on like. All the best laid plans, eh? Right. Nuts and spring washers again. Again, I use all new spring washers. I mean, these are the original nuts and I have them nicely zinced. But all the spring washers and plain washers, originally, I just throw them away. Because I've got boxes of new stuff here and it's just not worth paying someone to re-zinc a washer. You can buy these nuts, but they are quite special because they're a 10mm fine thread. And normally a 10mm bolt like this would be a 17mm spanner, and these are only a 14mm spanner. So they are quite a special nut. Although, like I say, you can actually buy them, the exact replicas. But I've just had these zinced. There we are, there's 4. It's funny, you know, Suzuki gets some really good ideas, and they come up with some not so brilliant ideas. They have a good idea of having the barrels bolted to the crankcases first, and you think, oh, that's a really good idea. And then they get a 3-cylinder engine like this, and then they have a one-piece head. Well, it seems strange to me. Why can't they just have 3 separate individual heads like a Kawasaki triple? Because you can't tell me there's not, you know, a thou or 2 difference in height between them. In fact, there's probably 5 or 6 thou difference in height between them when they're all bolted down. And you're expecting a big lump of aluminium to press down to shape. So it's going to be particularly important to re-torque the head down on this once it's been run up to temperature a few times, because of that reason, because it's a one-piece casting of the cylinder head, and it's going over 3 separately fitted barrels. They sound like I know what I'm talking about here, don't they? You'd never guess. Oh, this is a bit awkward. Like a dentist. Yeah. I'm going to do as much of this as I can today before my pals turn up to have a ride in the van. strictly following social distancing rules, of course. But since I got back on a bike, which was 3 days ago, I can't get enough of it. So that's 2. Right, 3rd one, which you probably won't be able to see from over there. Nice new bearing. I'm going to turn the engine over a bit so I can get this. Wow. That is super tight. Right, piston number 3. Clips. No problem. Yeah, what's that? So this piston is going over there, arrow is going to point forward, so the clip wants to be on the inside here. So put that in. Stop moving. Awkward. Not which way around the piston was now. Probably helps to put it on the bench. Right, done. Arrow. That's the right, yep. Ring set number 3. Writing up. One, 2, bit of oil, good jump in, go on the side, yes, 1 clip left, clip, pliers, piston. Boom. Safety rag. Done. Last barrel. Yep. Check it over. Screw up 2-stroke roll. Plenty on the chamfer. Plenty in the tank, sir. Right. Okay. Right, let's get that. Let's hope this goes on as easy as the last one. Boom. Boom. That was nice and simple. What appeared to be. Makes you wonder why the middle one was so tight, doesn't it? It was just one of the things. Thing is, was it tight or was it me just getting used to it? And once I've done one, it become easier. It's hard to tell sometimes, but as long as you're confident that you've done it right. I mean, there's nothing caught in there in the middle one. It goes up and down easy enough now. So the job's right. The job is right. So quiet in it with no radio on. Normally I have the radio on, but then I have to speed this up. Save you watching it all. But as this was quite interesting, I thought I'd let you watch this. Cock-ups and all. Fortunately I haven't done too many cock-ups this morning. Well, let me just check. Exhaust. No, I put them on the right way around. So yeah, no cock-ups this morning. That's not a good night's sleep. Okay. Oh, that's great. How tricky getting those in. Right. Raise these down. And we can bang the head on. Not a bang on the head, bang the heads on. I've already had a bang on the head. Right. Where's the company dog? Lost him. Archie! Hello. Hello, sunshine. What are you doing? You sunbathing? You sunbathing, right? You're knackered after you walk to the park? Oh yeah. Could you? Oh, this is looking awkward to me. I'm wondering if I've got a hang got 14mm ratchet ring. Oh, I have. Does it fit in here though? Bloody hell, it does. Oh, so look at that. I've got a 14mm ratchet ring spanner which would have made this lots easier. And he only discovers it as he's putting the last one on. As Jim Bowen used to say, look at what you could have won. Why is it always a speedboat? Right. Don't think it fits in that. Typical. The awkward one. It don't fit on. Always the way, isn't it? Look at that. 3 cylinders. Right, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption. So, I've tightened that last awkward bolt. So, let's chuck the head on. 3 new head gaskets. 3 new individual head gaskets. Yes. Good. 1 head. Over here somewhere. And a quick blow off. Johnston on the head, all nicely blasted, ready to go back on, and on she goes. Simple as that. Simple as that. Boom. Done. Torqued down. Let's try turning it over now. All sounds good. That all sounds good, so that's the top end back on. So that'll do for today, because I'm going to go out and ride my bike. Right, back again. So now we're going to just put the carbs together. Now the top end's all on there, I'm going to put all the carbs back together. So you can watch this speeded up, because I'm having the radio on. Good morning, welcome back to Higgsy'S Man Cave and the GT550 build. It's coming together now, it's really looking like a motorbike. So the other day we got all the top end on, we got the pistons in, the barrels on, the heads on, all that kind of stuff. Today, and also we did a bit on the carburetors. The carburetors are now fully built. I've got both shrouds on, the concertina ones and then the elbow ones as well. I've put a little bit of grease on the operating arm, and they're all built up, ready to go. So it's time for the inlet rubbers. So the best way to get the inlet rubbers on is to boil them in a pan of hot water. Ow! Yes, it is boiling water. And that softens them up and enables you to put them back on without cracking them, which is what happened to the original, if you remember. Way back when I did the first video, when I took the bike to bits in the first place, one of these was completely split in half and the original owner had just siliconed it back together, which was never going to work. So these are a completely new set, which I happened to come across on eBay, second hand. So I'm going to put these on now. So we put these on first, and it's got SUZUKI made in Japan on one side and nothing on the other. It's the SUZUKI made in Japan side that sticks out. So let's try and get the clips first to go over there nice and easy. Well, that's a big one, so I'll put that on there. And as you can see, heating them up helps fantastically. They just drop on. Immediately put clips on the wrong way around. Let's see, take the clip off, don't take the rubber off. Right, so just turn them the right way around. Last one. Last one on. Okay, goes on. Now for the tricky bit. He's getting the flipping carbs on. Blue screwdriver. It's funny how you have favourite screwdrivers, isn't it? Favourite screwdrivers and favourite spanners. Just make sure these are nice and loose. When the carbs go on. Right, so one goes on there. One goes on there. One goes around, so that goes on there. Right, boom. Right, let's get them on. Get it on. Get it while it's hot, as they say. If this goes on first time, I'll be shocked and amazed. Never does it? But who knows? You never know. You never know, you look. Right. That one seems to be going in. Don't speak too soon. Oh, getting somewhere. Hobble around this side. Trouble is, 10 hands. Flipping heck. Don't look now, but I appear to have done it. Boom. Ow. Boom. Good morning, welcome back to Higgsy'S Man Cave. Suzuki GT550, and it's finally starting to look like a motorbike and it's getting there. So while he'd been away, I've done a couple of little jobs. I've fitted the ram air covers and I've put spark plugs on it. You saw that I fitted the carburetors. The carburetors are all fitted and sorted now. All the cables are on now, all the switch gear, all that kind of stuff. I'm still waiting for the clock faces to build the clocks, but I've also just jury-rigged all the electrics with the ignition switch and that, just to check that the electrics work, which they do. So I'll just check the indicators. Yeah, indicators work, there's flashing on there. The dashboard all flashing, that's the neutral light. So that all seems to work, so that's all good. So we're pretty close to it now. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put the tank back on. I've fitted the, I've rebuilt the petrol tap, so I fitted that back to the tank. Don't know if it leaks yet, but I'm going to find out in a minute. In fact, I'm going to find out right now. Let's stick it on. Oh, I need the key. Need the key to open the seat. Right. So. I think to be on the safe side, we'll lower this down. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Ooh. Okay, so that was easy. Right, there should be a little strap catch thing somewhere. There was. Where's my glasses going now? Can't find anything. Right. Tank strap. There it is. Little tank strap. Get the gear lever out as well. Right, so that's the tank strap. That's just that just hooks onto there and hooks onto the back of there. I'll just force. Bit of force. So that's it. That's the tank done. The petrol cap's on. I've put that on, even though the actual button exploded and all the bits fell out. But I had a spare one at work that was all rusty, so I've dismantled it. It was a right old game to get that, to put the clip mechanism off the old rusty one onto that, which is the original, and it works. So I only had to do it about 4 times, so I got it right. Right, so we're getting near the moment of truth. See if it runs. Right, let's just trim this up. So that goes to there. Got a bit of a spoiler alert for you. I know it runs. I had it running yesterday. It's a shame that I have to tell you that. You don't hear me start it for the first time. But the funny thing was, I got it going because I was messing with the earth straps from the battery. The first time I tried hitting the starter motor button, it just clicked and the starter motor wouldn't go round. Nothing happened, and then smoke started pouring from under the seat. Oof, God. The wiring straps which I'd made from 2 pieces of 8 amp wire joined together twice, they weren't enough. So I got some proper car battery earth leads, and I put a big one from the battery all the way to the engine, and another one to the earth on the frame, so it's properly earthed now. Still didn't work. The starter motor still didn't work, so we ended up taking it out, dismantling it, and getting another one off a GT550, which I thought was the same starter motor. it wasn't quite the same. It turns out that the actual body, the two brackets that the two bolt holes on the back of the starter motor are handed on. They're on the left hand side on the GT750 and on the right on the GT550. Anyway, we sorted all that out, but when we took the GT550 starter motor to bits, it just completely fell to bits. In fact, insert here, I've got a photograph that I took to add onto the video to show you what it looked like. It was a complete and utter mess. So I'll put that photo in there and you'll see what the starter motor was like. So we rebuilt it all, made one good one from the two bad ones, or the GT750 one which didn't fit and the bad GT550 one. Made it, put it on, and it turned over great. So we then ran a bottle and got it and to try to get it running. It started to fire, but it was having trouble. And long story short, we eventually got it to run, but there was no exhaust smoke coming out of this pipe whatsoever. I mean, like completely. This was hot, but you put your hand over the end, there was nothing coming out at all. Turns out there was a mouse nest inside this pipe. Seriously, a mouse nest inside this pipe. In fact, I've had to hoover the garage this morning because there was that much shit came out of it, because I actually took the baffle out. I had to chisel the baffle out, and it just, when I started the bike up, it just chucked crap everywhere, all over the workshop. So much so I had to hoover it all up this morning and clean the baffle and get it out. So that's unblocked now, so it should all be good. So I'll try and put some pictures on the video, some photographs, some stills to show you what that looked like. Unbelievable, the mouse's nest. But it had completely blocked that exhaust, and if you continue to run it, if I'd have ran the engine like that, it would have seriously damaged the engine. It would have probably blown the crank seals, because this was running and the gas was going there, but it weren't going nowhere. Okay, so that's that. Now we've got the vacuum. So I've got the fuel pipe on, just the vacuum tap pipe to go onto there now. So we'll cut that. I'm being a bit brave. I haven't even tested this this fuel tap or nothing, so I really hope it holds fuel. 2 chances, I guess, isn't it? Right, moment of truth. Let's stick some petrol in. Right. Tea. Petrol. Full. Full. Right. Oh, please don't piss out everywhere. See where it's at, what position it's at. It doesn't have an off this, it's got on, reserve or prime. So I suppose we don't want it on prime, so we'll put it on to reserve and just see what happens. Yeah. That'll do, because if it is leaking, there's not as much to drain out of it. Right, full away, cap back on. Let's jack it up so we can see if it's leaking. Notorious for leaking these fuel tanks. They're a nightmare, but you need to wait probably 24 hours for the petrol to get into the rubber seal and expand it, and then quite often they stop themselves. They'll actually stop leaking on its own. Right. Looks okay. Can't believe that, but it does actually look like it's more leaky. Okay, this looks nice. Now the ram air cover, I've repainted all this ram air badge, which was a pain in the neck. I had to paint it all black and then scratch the letters off and just stand in the way. Right, well, that's it. We should be able to fire the bloody thing up. So I've got petrol, hopefully. I mean, it's a vacuum tap, so it probably won't let too much out until I actually start the bike. So let's see. Give it a bit of choke. Turn the ignition on. Get the key first. Oh! Should have got two of these keys, shouldn't I? Got this off eBay by the number, because there was no key with the bike. So I just read the number off the ignition barrel and the seat barrel. And number 327. And the guy on eBay cut some number. And it fitted absolutely perfectly. I'm looking up there for. Right. Ignition on. Choke on. Press the button. Nothing. Oh, turn the kill switch on. Shut up, Archie. How many years have I had that dog and he still don't like bikes? We'll turn it on to prime, just to let some, because that bypasses the vacuum, so that should just let fuel just pour out, or whatever's in it. Okay. Alright. Let's lower it down so I can see what we're doing. Right, so that's on, it's on prime. Let's give it another go. The amount of shit that comes out of the exhaust when I rev it up, this one here. starter motor and everything. Can't argue with that. Can't really argue with that, can you? Straight away. And that starter motor sounds so good. So that repair that we've done on the starter motor does work. That engine sounds ace. It sounds quiet, isn't it? There's no, and that starter motor sounds flipping lovely. You know, there's no grunching, there's no grinding, there's no knocking. Gotta be happy with that. Hi, welcome back to Higgsy'S Man Cave. So the GT550 is now finished and that's done. We're going to have a big tidy up, wait for the next project. But I thought I'd just give you a little look around and show you what I've been doing during the lockdown. So, here we go. A completely empty workshop. I've got everything out just to air it so I can have a good brush and sweep. So there's my Z9, that's my new bike. So there's the RD400, looking lovely. That's a very nice bike. Well, they're all nice bikes. So that's done, finished. There's the T500, that's the first one I did during the lockdown. Love the colour of that. It's a lovely quiet engine. I've got some new replica downpipes to go on the front, so just to finish that off. So again, there's the RD400, there's the T500, and there's the GT550. Finally, all back together and running beautifully. So that's all done and looking very nice. That looks lovely. And then, well, the RD400 behind it is a customer's bike who I've just repaired. And there's my old baby H2, which I've had for about 8 years now. Is it 8 or 10? Don't know. Well, that started life as an S2 350. And I built it as a 400, and now it's got a 500 engine in it. And I'm sure it won't be the last engine that goes in there, but it's also got wide rims on it. It's got a 4.5 inch back rim, 2.5 inch front rim. Lots of little things that you probably wouldn't even notice if I didn't point them out. But anyway, this is not about that. It's about the GT550. So there she is, looking beautiful. All done, all finished, gleaming away. It's got the engine stickers on. Well, it's got everything on it. Just to show you the clocks. The clocks are all done now. New faces. That's the original mileage, 3,884 miles from 1974. It's not bad, that. Everything works. Indicators all flashing away. Electrics all work. Mirrors. Yeah. So there we are. So there we have it. That's so basically these three, the GT550, T500, and the RD400, were my lockdown projects.